diploma. Yes, Ruth?
Like teachers, right?
No.
Well, except the part where they don't not a doctor, they don't make nearly as much money and they are in a life-saving industry, yes. But exactly the same other things. Yes, if a teacher put up their diploma, think about how it is. Think about this, people. You know it's a doctor, right? Like, you wouldn't have gone to their office if you didn't think they were a doctor, right? Right?
It's actually a serial killer.
How many of you have a printer at your house? You have a printer at your house? Okay. How many feel like they could print something that looked like a diploma from their printer?
It takes like 15 minutes online.
Right, you see what I'm getting at here? In other words, we think we're rational, right? We think, oh, I'm super rational. I went to someone who I know is a doctor. I let them poke me and prod me and make me wear a silly gown that doesn't even wrap around my body. At the end of that, they talked to me about what I needed to do. I was more likely to follow those instructions if they had a piece of paper on the wall that said they're a doctor. That's how silly this thing is, right? Like, literally, a medical diploma displayed increases adherence to instructions. Example number 2. This is a little bit better. Real estate agents. You call a real estate agent. And the person that picks up the phone says, "Hi, my name is Michael. Can I help you with a listing?" Okay. There was one real estate company that decided to change that. They created an in-between. Instead of Michael, real estate agent, picking up the phone, Michael was the secretary, the administrative assistant who picked up the phone and transferred you to Michelle. But before Michael transferred you to real estate agent Michelle, Michael said, "Oh yes, I'll transfer you to Michelle. She's our top agent. She's recently sold one blah, 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 blah." They discovered that intermediary, think about this. This is lengthening the amount of time you have to be on the phone. It increases the number of people you have to talk to. But by doing that one introduction, Raymond saying, "Dr. Hester has done blah, 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 blah." When they did that, the real estate agent found it increased property visits and signed contracts. People were more likely to sign a contract to end up using the real estate agency because someone told them, the real estate agent you're about to talk to, they're pretty sweet. They know what they're doing. Right? That's how authority works. Okay, moving on. The praxis for authority, signaling to others what makes you a credible source prior to attempting to influence them. If you signal to your source what makes you credible, you're more likely to influence them. Next up, consistency. Gesundheit. Here's the theory behind consistency. Identifying small initial commitments secures larger commitments in the future. If you can identify small initial commitments, you can help secure larger commitments in the future. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of this. Number 1, there was a health center. How many of you have been to a doctor or a dentist, and after it's over, you go to the receptionist to set up the next meeting, and you get an appointment card? Is everybody familiar with the appointment card? Okay, one health center, rather than having the receptionist fill out the appointment card for you, instead gave you the card and had you fill out. So they had the patients or the customers fill out their own appointment cards. Missed appointments were reduced by 18%. I think the door might be locked. So listen to that. We only needed one person to answer the door. We know what we've done. Initial commitments. Securing initial commitments allow for a relationship to be created. Securing initial commitments that were small in nature. Could you fill out your own appointment card? Because you were writing down when you were coming back, it created an obligation, a relationship, a commitment. I wrote down, I'm coming back on April 18th at 4:30 p.m. Reduced missed appointments by 18%. That's pretty good, right? So the idea here is the lesson to be learned, the praxis, voluntary, active, and public commitments. Try to get them in writing. Next theory, liking. People prefer to say yes to those who they like. People prefer to say yes to those whom they like. In other words, we tend to like people who are similar to us, or they complement us, or they cooperate with us toward mutual goals. Well, I thought somebody was. So if they think they're similar to us, if we compliment them, I think someone wants to get in. I think you can unlock that door. I'm not sure why they. Okay, so liking. People prefer